Okay, so now I am going to help you guys get started with these isometrics. So in Fusion, make sure that you have saved your project to your EE folder. I'm going to call mine isometrics. The first thing you're going to do, just make sure, please, that your units are set in inches. If they are not, go over here and make sure they're set in inches. While your main assembly is activated, you are going to click on New Component. I'm going to name this isomet, or just ISO is fine, 1. Okay, looking at the print, I pull it up. My first print is a 1/4 of an inch grid, 0.25. So when I look at this, I'm going to draw the front view, and I'm going to note that it is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares tall, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares wide. So I'm going to begin by starting a sketch, clicking on any one of these. So this one is fine. And then I'm going to draw a rectangle. My first click is going to be in the origin. And then I'm going to click outside of the origin anywhere. Somewhere over here is fine. I'm going to press the escape key on my keyboard, and then I'm going to click on the dimension tool. I'm going to click on the lower horizontal line once, and then I'm going to click below it. And since it's 11 squares wide, I'm going to type in 11. Then I'm going to press the asterisk key, Shift 8. That means times. And since my grid squaring is a 1/4 of an inch, 0.25, I'm going to type in 0.25. Enter. Now I'm going to put in the height. Click on this line, then click next to it. And since it's 4 squares tall, 4 asterisk 0.25. Enter. Now I need to put in this little rectangle that's going to be this little cutout in the middle. Notice it's 2 squares offset from the outside edge. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to make sure I snap. Notice how that little X comes up. Somewhere along that. And then somewhere on the inside. Anywhere is fine. And then I'm going to dimension. Click on this first vertical line and then on this second vertical line. And then I'm going to click in between the 2 vertical lines. And I'm going to type in 2 times 0.25. I'm going to do the same thing below it. These are 3 clicks, by the way. 2 times 0.25. 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 2 times 0.25. So now, when I finish my sketch, I can extrude, and I can click not this, but this. How deep do I want this to extrude? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So I'm going to type in here 5 times 0.25. Remember, my times is the asterisk. If I tilt my world, I now have this. Now I need to cut out the top corner here. Notice if I kind of look at the bottom, I can count it's 1, 2, 3 squares in this direction, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares in this direction. I'm going to make my sketch on the topmost plane, which is right here. I'm going to snap the corner of a rectangle to the lower right-hand corner, make sure that that little blue square appears, and I'm going to drag it up to the upper left, and I'm just going to click in a random area because I'm going to dimension this vertical edge to be 3 squares times 0.25, and then in this direction, 5 squares times 0.25. This allows me to finish my sketch, extrude, pick both of these 2 profiles, and cut them all the way through my object. My final operation here is to figure out where the center of this hole is. And I can determine that by really following this edge and noticing that it's about halfway through the part. Since I have 5 squares, I can divide 5 in half, and that tells me 2.5. The diameter of my circle is 2. This direction, if I count off of this back edge, I should be able to determine that it is 1, 2.5 off of this edge. So 2.5, 2.5. That's a difficult thing to determine off of an isometric with grids. I'm going to start with a circle. I'm going to draw it, drag out, and I'm going to type in 2 times 0.25. Then I'm going to dimension this edge, first click, center point, second click, and then somewhere in between, I'm going to type in 2.5 times 0.25. Then I'm going to do the same thing from this edge to the center point. And I'm going to type in 2.5 times 0.25. And then I should be able to finish my sketch, spin my world a little bit, and then extrude all the way down. And cut it. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to change the material. My material can be changed by right-clicking on the part, going to Physical Material. I can open up this, and according to my sheet, this is supposed to be high-density polyethylene. So if I go to Plastic, I can scroll down. I'm going to find polyethylene. I'm going to drag the high density and drop it. I'm going to minimize this. And now if I want to know how much it weighs, if I want to know all of this information, volume, mass, surface area, all I would need to do is right click, go to Properties, give it a moment to populate the information, and then under Physical, it gives you all of that data right here. All right, hopefully that's helpful for isometric number 1. Thanks for watching.